going to go over my my deck that I played in the San Diego Regional, where I got 18th place out of 550 people, and I got my invite. And I do recognize I did not top, so maybe you don't want to watch this deck profile, but I did not think I would do well with this deck, because I played Drytron, and I was like, I don't freaking care. I'm playing Drytron because if I top, it would be very, very funny, and I would get a lot of clout. So I did not top. I got 18th place, but, you know, my deck performed very well. I'm going to go through the deck. I'm going to go over the matchups. I am going to go over the combo. I will say that this deck does Scythe lock, and the Scythe lock is foolproof. Like, there are two ways to pop Scythe, and there's a third way to protect, where the only cards that can beat you are DD Crow and Call by the Grave, and you can stop those as well. So this combo is foolproof. If you go first, your Scythe will resolve, assuming you don't get 3 hand traps. Like, yeah. So basically, anytime I went first, I won. The only thing is, I usually didn't go first. I lost the die rolls most of the time, and then I won going second, so they went first. I did a lot of 2-0ing of people, so I didn't have that much kind of experience. Freaking, I don't know. I'm very tired. I got home at like 4 a.m. I woke up at 5 a.m. I don't know. Anyway, let's just go into the deck profile. Chat, if you have any questions, you can drop them below. Yes, let's, oh my god, I've been talking for 2 minutes. Okay, I'll put a timestamp or something like that. Anyway, okay, alright. So we have 3 alpha, 3 zeta, 3 gamma, and 2 delta. I think that's pretty standard. If you want to add a 3rd delta, or, you know, just know, hey, what's up, Bear? Delta is kind of insane because you play so many ritual monsters, so you're always going to draw 1. But I do think Gamma is stronger than Delta, so I play 3 Gamma. We have 3 Diviner, 1 Benton, 1 Edison, 1 Natasha, 1 Draconiths, and then the Megalith package. We have 2 Fool, 1 Ophiel, 1 Bether. I think these cards are great. Like, a downside is that, you know, more ritual monsters means more bricks, but out of 10 rounds, there was only 1 game where I bricked so hard I couldn't do anything, and I lost as a result of it. I don't know if you really need Edison. This is something I might consider cutting, but I do play Beatrice, so I think that's very important. Alright. The next cards we play are Lancia and Scythe. So this could be orange late, but I figure Lancia is probably a bit stronger, going second. So I chose Lancia, and Lancia is also good because your combo is gonna lose to DD Crow and Call by the Grave, like if they have it for the Scythe. So if you drop Lancia, they can't do that. Lancia also stops all this freaking pot cards. And it just is really good against certain matchups. So that's why I put Lancia in. During this combo, you resolve Benton like a billion times. So you can freely add, you know, Lancia. You can add Scythe too. You know, you do have space for a lot of light fairies. Then when you play Celestial and Dasher. So the reason I don't play Plasma is because it's literally never come up where I would ever summon Plasma. And the thing is, like, if they stop your DPE from coming back, but you're required to bring back a Destiny hero, then you bring back Dasher. So if you get it in the grave, at least maybe there's a chance you can draw 2 from Celestial. But if you play Plasma instead of Dasher, like, you have to bring back Celestial, and there's no way that you can draw 2. So that's why I play that. I also don't know where my Plasma is, so that's another reason. As for spells, we have 2 Fusion Destiny. You play 2 because it's good to draw, because it saves some steps in your combo. I saw this card a lot. I think it's really good. Then we have 3 Cyber Emergency, 3 Nova, 1 Fafnir, 1 Meteonis. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Fafnir is just another copy of Nova. It's very good. Very good. And then we have Call by the Grave and 3 Droplets. This is a nice, clean 40 card deck. Droplets is very insane in Drytron in particular because you can discard cards for free since your Drytrons can summon themselves from the grave. So, yeah, Droplets very, very good. Very, very good indeed. So, yeah, I just think it's a great card. Alright, that is the main deck. Then we're going to have the extra deck. We have 2 Fafnirs. I play Downerd. I think you need Downerd. I don't know why people don't play Downerd, but here's a Zeus. An ulti I pulled from my locals. I play the Lurlisk just because, like, sometimes people summon all their monsters in attack and you can't make Zeus, and Zeus is kind of your win condition going second. So at least Lurlisk will attack directly. And another thing is that there are cards that, like, try to destroy, but your Lurlisk is protected from destruction. You know, from battle and card effects if you detach a material. So it's very good. It's very good. And I had room for it, so that's why I play it. Oh, and lastly, we have Beatrice. Beatrice is kind of necessary if you only draw 1 Drytron, but it also allows you to send things to the grave, like freaking token collector and stuff like that. Play 1 Entis, 1 DPE. DPE very good, very important for the Scythe lock. Then we play 1 Baron. You make this using Diviner and Ophiel. 1 Arclight. And as for links, we have Dagda, Verite, Link Karibo, Unicorn, Access Code Talker. I know I've played Boral Sword in the past, but Access Code Talker is really good because you can pop a bunch of stuff. Since you do play, like, you know, Dagda. I know the rest of the attributes are dark, but, like, you play Dagda, so that's like 2 pops, which is very, very good. And as for the side deck, I'm missing 3 cards. I'll leave them a mystery. But we're playing 3 Token Collector. Obviously very good against Sorcerer, but is very good against Brave. Then I'm playing Red Reboot and 3 Lightning Storms. I'm playing 3 Mystic Mine. I know. Okay, for the record, I know I've said many bad things about Mystic Mine. I still think it's very toxic. However, my thoughts were, if I win a bunch of events abusing Mystic Mine, Konami will have to ban it. So I'm doing a service. Didn't quite win yesterday, but I'm going to continue to try to stamp out mine by abusing it. Have a terraforming. I don't think I needed a terraforming. I usually wasn't able to sign in. My 6 card would be Lightning Storm and Mystic Mine and 1 Orange Light. I was maining this, but I decided to move it to the side deck because it's really good going first. I did have a match where a Flunder player summoned Retaliating Sea or something. Like the one that's like a Macrocosmos when you activate a spell to summon a monster. And I had Orange Light, which you can search pretty easily. And then I negated it, and then I was able to win. But if I was not able to negate that, I probably would have lost. So, yeah. 3 cards. Could be Anti-Spell. I know it's a little risky, but I think Anti-Spell is very strong. I might even consider Twin Twisters, because Eldritch is like, they have so many floodgates that it's such a pain to play without like spell trap removal. And the thing is that like a lot of people are playing anti-spell, and so having twin is very important so you can like stop them, type of thing. There was a game 3 against Sword Soul where I was like totally super down. I was like, I drew Mystic Mine, I had 3 other spells, I had Fusion Destiny. I was like, I can break this board. I can totally break this board. And then he had anti-spell and there was nothing I could do. So, yeah. That's basically what's up with that. Okay. So yeah, these 3 cards, you can use your imagination. And next thing we will do is go into my matchups. So, let me go over my matchups. YouTube, if you're not interested, you can just skip past it. I have timestamps below. Alright. So, what's up, guys? Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/5th-rate-duelist. Here is my matchups. I like to post about tournaments as I do them if you're interested in that sort of thing. Round 1 was against Brave Punk Virtual World. I 2-0'd him. It was a pretty easy match, done in like 15 minutes or something like that. I'm not sure he was that familiar with my deck because he's looked very surprised when I OTK'd him twice. And so, what's also interesting about him is that he was main decking Droll. And so he went first game 1, and then he Drolled me, and I still killed him. And I was like, thinking, like, that's what you get for maining Droll. I was like not expecting any Droll because it's not particularly great right now. But yeah, that's what's up. Okay, round 2 was versus Flender. Yeah, I 2-0'd him. I think he was kind of new to the deck, because of some of the plays that he was making. Like, he wasn't adding back the right birds and things like that, so that was pretty easy. Round 3 was also against Flender. That was another win. A little more difficult, because it is very annoying to have to deal with Empen and Windbearer statue. But thankfully, you know, I have Diviner. I got lucky. I drew Diviner and I popped the freaking Windbearer statue. And then, you know, you can deal with Empen and stuff like that. And then, of course, Natasha just stealing monsters has come in very, very clutch. Yeah. And then round 4, Sword Soul. Okay, so game 1, I freaking bricked. I just drew a bunch of blue monsters and droplets. 2 droplets and a bunch of blue monsters. And I was like, okay, just set one pass. Sadly, I won the die roll and I had to do that. And so I stop his Moye, and he passes turn, and then I drew another blue monster. So I set another droplets, and then, like, I passed, and I drew a fool, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Let's just go to the next one. So game 2, I set up a board. I had my Scythe lock. I didn't go for Lancia, as I should have. I went for something else. And then he had call by for the Scythe, but I also had sent Token Collector with Beatrice, and I had Fool, so, you know, he just couldn't do anything. And then game 3, he set up, like, an okay board. He had, like, 2 monsters. I was like, I can totally do this. This is not a problem. But then he had anti-spell, and I had 4 spells at hand, and I was like, okay, this is nothing I could do. So that's kind of where, like, I should have anticipated that people are going to be citing anti-spell, because it is very, very strong right now. And knowing that, you know, probably should be maining some citing some cosmics or twins or something like that. Okay, next we have round 5, which I won against Flunder. That one was a tough matchup, but I activated Mystic Mine, It was game 3. Flunder went first, and I activated Mystic Mine. And then, they had the Wind Bear statue and the Empen, but I was able to make the Lyrilisk and just Zeus everything. And then proceed to... Oh, and I negated the Wind Bear statue. So, yeah, that was fine. Then, round 6, I lost to Eldritch, by which I mean I lost 2 Anti-Spells, Skill Drain, and 2 Solemn Judgments. So, like, game 1, I just was auto-lose, because he went first. I didn't have Spell Trap removal. There was just nothing I could freaking do. Game 2, I won, going first. Game 3, was a thing where he went first, and I had Storm, and some other cards, so I was like, I think I can do this. I had Diviner, and then he flips Anti-Spell, and I was like, okay, that's annoying. So then I summoned Diviner, ready to pop something, but then he flipped Skill Drain, and I was like, okay. And then... Was it Diviner? Actually, I don't remember what happened, because my Lightning Storm, I did activate. Oh yeah, don't forget, I activated Lightning Storm, and then that was negated by Solemn Judgment. And then that's why he stopped the Diviner, and then he had another Solemn Judgment, and I was just like, I just can't do anything. I tried. Well, that's kind of like, maybe that would have been where increased spell trap removal was important, but, I don't know if you can really build your side deck to account for Eldritch. So, still trying to figure that out. Round 7, I won against Flunder. I was like, why am I facing all these bird decks? But since I played the deck, a fair amount, I knew exactly what to do. Like, it was so funny, like, the Flunder player, kind of bricked, but then I bricked too, so I said droplets, and then he finally draws, like, Robina, and he summons Eaglin, and then I droplet the Eaglin, and he has to pass. And then I draw a card, but I couldn't do anything, so I set another droplet. And then we continued, and then I actually went through a third droplet, and then I was able to kill. And so that was, like, really funny, because it's like, if I hadn't played the deck, I don't think I would have known. You just negate Eaglin, and you continue with your life. So yeah, that's what's up. And then round 8 was against Broke-Ass Eldritch. He looked really confused when I was playing my Drytron cards. So I asked him, like, do you know what my cards do? And he's like, no, I haven't played in 5 years. And I was like, oh my god, let me go slower. And I was trying to explain all the cards that I went. I tend to play a little fast with Drytron just because I'm very familiar with it, so I had to, like, slow down for him. But in the end, he didn't have any hand reps, so I was like, okay. And so, yeah, then I ended up 2-0ing him because he was playing stuff like Torrential Tribute. So he didn't know. I summoned the Lyrilisk to wipe his board, and I was worried that he might have, like, a Conk or something. It turned out he had Torrential Tribute. And then I just detached from my Lyrilisk and wiped the board, and then he just scoops. So, yeah, that was a good match. And then the 9th round was against Based, like, Sword Soul, Tenyi something, Brave. I don't know what that deck is called, but it had a bunch of, like, Tenyis and Brave in it and stuff like that. And so I already ended up, like, 2-0ing him. I don't remember very clearly. I was just like, he was such a nice guy, and we were having, like, good conversation and stuff like that. And then, yeah, game 1, I think I went first, and then he couldn't do anything. And then game 2, I just had droplets, and I OTK'd him or something. Like, I don't freaking know. And then my last match was against Based, like, but it was like the Cody Angeloff and Jesse Cotton Based, and Christian made it to, like, the 40 card Based or something like that. So game 1 I went first, and I set up a board he couldn't break, and then game 2 I think he bricked, because he drew like the Draco back, and he drew like the freaking what do you call it? Like the Fateful Adventure. And I don't know, his ending board was DPE and Griffin. And I had droplets, so he just scooped and went on with his day. And I was like, oh, okay, alright. And yeah, that was the 10 rounds. Keep in mind, like, it was definitely rough. I was feeling the weight. I was living off of pretzels because someone stole my sandwich when I wasn't looking. To which I say, if you were the one that stole my sandwich, I would have just bought you a sandwich if you were really that hungry. You didn't have to steal it from me, so I was subsisting off of pretzels from the cart that was right outside the door. I had 3 pretzels, and I just downed 3 Diet Pepsis. It was so unhealthy. So don't do that. Make sure you guard your sandwich, because apparently that's more important than your Yu-Gi-Oh cards or something like that. I don't freaking know. But I also think it's pretty funny. So, yeah, overall, like, I think I did the right thing by picking a deck I was very comfortable with. Because I was very comfortable with Drytron. And, like, I think that helped quite a bit. Anyway, let's do the combos now. Later. Okay. What's up, guys? Here I am doing the combo. This is definitely the first time I'm doing it because I totally didn't mess up after doing it for 10 hours. Freaking totally the first attempt. Don't ask questions. Anyway, here we go. Alpha Tribute Zeta. Go ahead, add Benton. Anything on res. They say no because most people aren't playing Droll, which is a nice win. Zeta, add this, and then add Diviner from the Benton. And then we go ahead and we overlay for the Fafnir. And then we go ahead and send with Gamma, or send the Gamma. Then you normal the Diviner, send Arclight, add Fool. So you add Fool. Then you go ahead and activate this. And summon Fool, targeting Benton, add to hand. Then you want to reduce Fafnir, 1,000. Maybe it might make them nib. I don't know. Then you do Fool effect, tribute Benton, summon Ophiel. You do Benton, chainlink 1, Ophiel, chainlink 2. So you add this, and then I would add Lancia off of Benton. But you can also directly add Scythe. You can add Natasha. You can add whatever you freaking want because you're going to trigger Benton a few times. And then you go ahead and ask them like anything here. And then that's when they would nib. And then you have Gamma engraved to continue your combo. And that's why if you added Scythe, then like you would be guaranteed to still Scythe lock them. But usually game 1 I don't play around Nibiru because I'm not very worried about that. Okay. Alright. So the next thing you want to do is you want to do, let's see. There are a couple ways you can do. You can summon another Benton and do Gamma. And then you summon Dagda. But then you have to use your Fool to make Verte. So you have to kind of like figure out what you want to do. So, you know, coast is clear, you have Nib, you can do Gamma. I like triggering Benton again because, I don't know, I just find it to be very dope. So you're going to go ahead and do this. Because if you trigger the Benton, you get the Scythe, and then you make the Verte. It's the same thing. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. Then you do activate Medionis, and then chain link to its Dagda. So you're going to go ahead and set the Scythe. And then you're going to go ahead and summon basically whatever you want. You can summon another Ophiel and then add like the Bether. But like what I don't like doing about that is that I don't want people to know what Bether is. So if you add it to hand, they might ask to read it, and like I don't want them to do that. So you can just do whatever. You can do anything you want. And then you go ahead and link to for Verite. And then you pay 2,000, send Fusion Destiny and Celestial and Dasher, and you make the DPE. Okay. Now here's what's up. Okay. You're gonna activate DPE popping these and then declare DPE. 1, this plays against Super Poly. And 2, you kind of need space on the board. And 3, you need DPE in the grave. So what you do is that on the opponent's standby phase, there's a couple ways you can do this. There's like a lot of ways you can do this, but let me just show you. So you can activate Baron, whatever. Its effect in the standby phase to bring back the Diviner. Diviner triggers because it was special summoned, and you send Entis. And then Entis target. Oh, also, you need to drop Lancia and draw phase, by the way. Very important. Very important. Okay, and then Entis target the Scythe. And so Scythe chainlink 1. If your opponent has BELLE, obviously Scythe stays. If they don't, then Scythe comes back. You activate its on-field effect. But if they have BELLE, what you do is that DPE comes back. Then you use DPE effect. So you can pop itself and Dagda. So you can do DPE 1, Dagda 2, and then you can bring back the Scythe and activate its on-field effect. So here's another thing, like going back, is that if for some reason, like Scythe comes on field and they droplets it or they imperm or something, that's okay, because when DPE comes back, you can use DP effect and you can pop Dagda and Scythe and then activate Dagda's effect, which will summon Scythe and then trigger its effect, because this is not once per turn. Like anytime it gets popped on the opponent's turn. Wait, is that right? Oh, sorry, yeah. The effect on field to stop the opponent from summoning from extra deck is not once per turn. And it's Dagda that's bringing it back, because the Dagda has effect that when it's popped, it brings back an artifact card. Does that make sense? So adding the Lancia was good, because your combo loses to DD Crow and Call by the Grave. So you can stop those from happening. And then if the opponent has BELLE, by doing the way where you have Baron first and then DPE, there's a lot of ways to combat that. So yeah, this is my combo guide. I think I did it correctly this time. I mean, this is the first time I'm doing it. I totally didn't mess up the first time. Obviously there are many ways you can do it, and obviously it's dependent on your hand, but basically, like, there's no way to stop this Scythe combo if you do it properly. So thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of luck with everything. Drytron 18th best deck. Thank you very much. My name is Drytron. Please follow me on Twitch, Fifth Rate Duelist. Like, comment, subscribe. Join my Patreon, patreon.com/Drytron. Okay, bye-bye.